Faso, Guinea, Conakry,
Cote d'Ivoire, so many time or the other.
Cameroon and all those things. So Cameroon in Central Africa, so many of them. Africa has not been performing incredibly well in terms of democracy. Commission to conduct this election without any infiltration.
The way you are talking, there is this sense that INEC may do one thing or the other. Why is it toward may take place? Why don't we just relax and know that INEC will do their job, we do our voting, and then they announce the result, and then we'll just move on?
Our democratic institutions, state institutions in Nigeria, have not been established to provide common good for the general population. Our state institutions, democratic institutions, and INEC are always have a penchant of pandering to the elites, pandering to vested interests. In such an institution, there's bound to be worries, concern, and even doubts on the neutrality of the electoral board. In fact, Afrobarometer is one of the best democracy think tank in Africa that conduct research on that. I think even NOAA and AMP are trying to build up to that. But if you want to look at democracy in Africa and elections, Afrobarometer is the best in Africa, based in Ghana, and they have office in Nigeria as well. In 2021, 2015, 2029 elections, they conducted research and found out that Nigerians, a whole chunk of the population, believe in democracy, but they have public distrust of the electoral institutions, that is INEC in particular. This is empirical research. This is not speculation.
It's not based on your own, just your own perception.
Yes, it's not based on perception. About 65 to 72% of Nigerians do not have trust on the electoral body, and several instances propel this kind of perception, this reality, this empirical data. In 2019, in most of the public deliberations that INEC were dishing out, projecting, they made mention of server, a cloud server that server was going to be. When the chiefs were down, they told the whole world that there was no server.
They denied it.
They denied it. They made it clear. It was they were everywhere.
It was very disheartening when INEC was defending.
The chairman, the director of education, they were making it very clear that.
But people believe that because there was a lot of suspicion, and Nigerians are still doubtful about the result of the 2019 elections. But we've moved on from that, and it is believed that right now INEC, the chances of INEC being a bit more to the center, to supporting the people, is that the current president is not returning, and as a result of that, it gives a clearer playing field to all the actors at the presidential level, to that the INEC may be a little bit more neutral.
But the antecedent, as we speak, in fact, even as late evening yesterday evening, INEC have not come out to give us the total number of Nigerians who have collected their PVCs and are going to vote, not total registered voters. It's different. INEC
has delivered PVC.
They deliver PVCs. I mean,
is that criminals, elements operating in the southeast over the years, and they've been destroying PVCs, killing citizens, and all of that. So we still have to know. I don't know whether it's INEC that did that deliberately.
Thousands of PVCs of permanent voters card cannot be thrown to the bush, or thrown in the bush. Have come out.
That's Munguno?
Yes. Major General Babagana Munguno, retired, have come out to say they assured the whole country, the whole world, that elections are going to take place peacefully.
We have always been assured of this before, and then we still see trouble.
As I came in, I saw the IG giving orders, giving directives on how the election will be conducted and how the security are going to operate, particularly the police. That assured anybody who is from the southeast, who is listening to this program and is witnessing what is going on in the southeast, and some miscreant, under what name I wouldn't know, want to disrupt elections, it will affect the southeast. It will affect the Igbo. It will not affect anybody. The country will move on. So they better sit up and defend this democracy in the southeast. Otherwise, but the issue of the PVCs being found in the bush.
No, but
that
definitely there was more money that was used to print them, and then nobody's accounting for it, and you throw it away. This further disenfranchising Nigerians, preventing them from expressing themselves at the ballot. I mean, if that is found out to
that's a high criminal offense.
Complicity from any government official, they must pay for it.
That is a crime against the Newi in the bush. Some people have gone out to look at the data that were collected and input them. Follow this process you were reading on screen. Follow the process. Put their data, their date of birth, their surnames, and their local government and state. The PVCs. The data provided that these were authentic voters. This way, so it's
all right. Now, Paul, let me ask you this, because from the way you're talking, is it that people believe that after Nigerians vote, INEC is able to manipulate the vote so that the person who did not win will now be declared as the winner? Is that the fear of the people?
There are clear fears. These are clear fears. On that note, let me give you an example. In 2019, they were conducting elections in Nasarawa State. In fact, the INEC resident, electoral officer, the overall electoral officer.
That's the REC, electoral commissioner.
I don't think the REC. I think there's another name. That is the professors that were used to conduct.
Okay, returning officer. Those are returning officers.
The returning officer for Nasarawa State in the gubernatorial election.
Okay.
In that Nasarawa State governorship election, there were instances where PDP was winning a state. I don't speak for PDP. I'm not. But
no, you are using data.
Data, yes. There were instances where PDP were winning in a particular state. Talks came, burned down the place,
the documents,
but
it may not be official. It may be an individual official deciding on his own. Not that there is complicit across
INEC should not create room for that.
Look, Paul, we are Nigerian. We don't want the PVC. The POS issue that is going on in our country now.
So we should not say we are Nigerian.
People are collecting 500 naira to give you 1,000.
So we should not say we are Nigerian.
Okay.
We should stick to the laws, to the Eastern laws. We should adhere strictly to what is expected of us at any point in time, at every country.
Even the president, state governors, senators, legislators, you, me, citizens. Go to Marabanyanya. People are listening to us from there. Are they not throwing reviews in the gutters right now? Is that what the law says we should do? People are running the red light right now. Across the place, senators do the wrong things. A senator was jailed some time ago. He ran away and was from hiding, asking court to declare his conviction null and void. How can he? And the court was telling him, "You are a lawmaker."
Society, sir.
So, what do you think we are seeing? That
in every society,
yes, policemen even commit crimes.
In every society, you cannot rule out in criminology, and even in sociology, they tell you cannot rule out that the whole society will be sane.
Okay,
there are certain people who are deviant in society. Yeah, they call it. Now, who are deviant in society? It is not the duty of the state to say they must be
to deviant. Pamper them, okay?
To pamper them. The number one duty of the state is to punish those who deviate. That is why in our constitution, one of the first point of call in that constitution is the security and welfare of the state, of the people. Security.
Paul, so, I agree with you. I'm only saying that as Nigeria is developing over time, there has been injustice meted out to me, and there was nothing I could do. And I know you must have suffered the same somewhere, somehow along the line. You were in school. Some lecturers will just decide because of your face or one thing, you will just remove 3 marks from you and say, look, you will not pass my course. You know, it's in Nigeria. These things are against the law, but they are going on.
In every instance where injustice has been carried out against me or malpractice carried out against me, where I have been innocently punished or that is discriminated against, I have gone the whole hog to fight against it and regain my right. You know, even in school,
I love you. I love you for that.
You know, back even in school, that in every instance that anybody has dared to want to encroach on my constitutional right or human right, I will go to the letter, to the end, to pursue it. That is what a citizens, a democratic
citizens' right. That is correct.
Yeah.
Okay, so we are still working that all Nigerians will begin to learn that. I wanted to buy a recharge card. Somebody said wants to charge me extra money on buy POS. I said no, I won't buy again. You are making profit already. You don't have to charge me money because it is illegal. I believe that we should begin to stand up for our rights, like you said. But back to elections now.
Yeah.
Yes. So are we afraid or? Look, personally, I have looked at these candidates. I've looked at all of them.
Yeah.
They are Nigerians.
Yeah.
The system, our laws have checked and found them worthy to contest the elections. I'm going to vote. You are going to vote. Me, I believe that anybody who emerges, we should accept it. But I've heard some tunes from Sir Ayo Adebajo, the Afenifere leader, saying that if a certain candidate doesn't win, Nigeria will scatter or things like that. I don't know. How do you feel about that when you hear comments like that, Paul? And I see you that I believe in your mind that you feel that maybe there's a candidate who is riding to victory. And these polls and all these things may give a wrong signal. It may come true, it may not. Nigeria will still remain our country any which way it goes. So what do you say? You believe that if a particular candidate doesn't win, is it because INEC compromised or because the security services were compromised?
Following the statement of Chief Ayo Adebanjo and his statement that if maybe P2B, let's be clear, if P2B don't win, there will be issues and all that. I think he's speaking as an elderly.
No, he cannot be speaking like as an elder.
No,
an elder should be talking about the peace and security of our
country. He's speaking emotionally.
He was emotional.
He was emotional, yes. He was emotional. But the fact is this. If the elections go the way they ought to go,
okay,
free democracy, process, the electoral democracy. So, but like I said now, INEC need to come out in clear terms. Tell us tell the whole Nigeria, the whole world, the numbers of PVCs that have been collected. Okay. Those who are going to vote, not registered voters.
For you, that's one of your.
It clearly raises concern. We need to know the total number of people who have collected their PVCs nationally, geopolitical zones, statewide, local government, political wards. Trickle down from the national, from the federal, to the political ward, to the least political unit.
But Paul, you also realize that is not sacrosanct. People die. That this election threaten people. We heard video of people
in Lagos.
People say if you don't vote for our party, you don't vote APC, your business will not move. You will not live in our house.
If you don't vote APC. If you don't vote APC,
we are not talking about APC.
It was said in Lagos. Sir, it was said in Lagos. If you don't vote a chief,
especially this party,
the police have not arrested that chief, and the person,
is more which shouldn't be. But look, Paul, these things are happening across the country. But before we go, just continue. You say yes, vigilance against electoral suppression,
voter suppression.
Yeah, voter suppression. Yes, voter suppression. Sorry. Yes. What else?
Then there should be no instance of overt militarization of the elections. The military should
stay. IG of police and other service chiefs, they prefer to always, who is not telling them how prepared the security services are.
The police.
And he will tell them that the police is the lead agency, and they will still not talk to the police IG. It's like maybe the media or Nigerians have more trust in the army, and here you are saying you don't want the army to be involved.
Yes. Why the country needs the army? For security purposes. But in that, there should not be any instance of the military meddling in the conduct of elections.
The military, I don't think Nigerian military has ever meddled in the conduct
in Rivers State, they did that. In Rivers State, they did that.
In 2019?
In 2019, going even to the polling unit to determine who is there.
Yeah, yes, I remember those episodes, and it was roundly condemned by all Nigerians.
It's only the police
that time.
It's only the police and maybe civil defense that have a stake in being close to the polling unit. Anywhere, the army should never go close to the polling unit. They should stay maybe far from the polling unit for security purposes. That is one thing.
Yes, go on. Then we are listening to you. We're using you as our barometer now to measure credible elections.
I think INEC has done a lot in terms of public awareness and clarifications. But I think between now to Saturday, INEC need to go on air, on TV, television, radio, explaining to Nigerians, in the case there is a runoff, what need to be done. The constitutional provisions, the extant laws guiding INEC in such instances.
No, it's not. It's not INEC to do that. It is the Nigerians. No, it is we, the voters, who should know those things by ourselves. This is where some people are complaining that the average Nigerian doesn't educate himself about the laws and processes.
INEC has a department for public awareness. They ought to do that.
What about the political parties? What is
the National
job?
Orientation Agency?
What is the job of
the National Orientation Agency, in conjunction with INEC, ought to be doing that? I wouldn't know. It's not my.
Do you know how much work you want INEC to be doing, Paul?
No,
INEC is.
It is a constitutional responsibility. I've not taxed them outside the purview of their constitutional
Paul,
responsibility.
I see you are so excited about this election.
Yeah.
But it's good. Look, for me, that is correct.
To third 21st state.
Although it has never happened in Nigeria that somebody who has the highest number of votes didn't meet it and the next person meets it and wins. It has never happened.
It was a contentious issue in 1979.
That would be a very big issue
in 1979. In 1979, Unity Party of Nigeria believed it happened. They went up straight to the Supreme Court.
That's the 12 to 3rd
the mathematical
which we are using now.
So it's still the same with the Supreme Court.
Paul, the way you are talking now, it's like youths across Nigeria believe that there is something against them. There is something that about why is that? Why do they have that? Why are they not going to the polls like everybody else? Okay, let's vote. And of course, we have the LP candidate Peter Obi. Lucky for us, these men have been in public office for one way or the other. If we start with Rabiu Kwankwaso, he was governor of Kano State 2 times.
In terms of experience,
I'm expressing my own views now. Then I will open the callers. Then you can still say something. He was governor. He was Minister of Defense as well.
House of Reps.
Okay, he was in the House of Reps as well. In all these seats he was, people complained. Some people praised him, people complained. In Kano State, if you go there now, some people say, okay, he did schools, education, he tried. Some say, no, he was the EFCC invited him one time, I checked. And then he was able to clear himself, and all those things ended. So what does that mean? Turakin was vice president for 8 years with former President Olusegun Obasanjo. By 2007, when he was leaving, he said Obasanjo said he cannot allow this man to succeed him, and has been going around saying negative things about him all that while. And some issues have also come out involving Alhaji Atiku Abubakar in Nigeria about people are doubting him. Talk about the man of Labour Party who was governor in Anambra State for 2 terms. People have gone now to dig out the tweets of people who are saying Obi is the best today, who were insulting him in 2013 and 2010, saying Obi is always using contractors who use fake material, that Ngige is better, that Obi is the worst governor ever, he should leave the seat. Now those people are tweeting that Obi is the best. So there were complaints too. Asiwaju, what about him? He was governor in Lagos State. Till tomorrow, people are complaining. He is collecting money. He is doing this. So what does that mean? Any of these people imagine, what am I saying? By 23rd of February 2027, we will still be complaining. So for me, I believe that Nigerians will just take it easy. There's no need of fighting and quarreling. I saw a video, it's still in my phone here, this morning, where Tinubu and Atiku were sitting side by side, laughing, shaking hands, and greeting each other. They are friends. Obi was vice president to Atiku. They are friends. Obi and Tinubu are friends. These people are related. Any of them who wins, he will still call the other. Give me this thing, give me that. So look, I feel bad that Nigerians are quarreling, fighting with each other over this man, when we know that they are friends, they know where they relate. So I believe that if you trust in your...
But when you talk about the candidate, you analyze the candidate, in fact, look at maybe there are loopholes, yes, so to say. Nobody is perfect, but the challenge Nigeria has been captured since 1962. Let us try with this election to free Nigeria. Don't look at religion. Don't look at ethnicity. Vote the most competent person. That is what
our time is winding down gradually. So I just want to quickly let the listener to know that
of the world. I think the other day we're ready. So this election is going to be a defining moment for all of us. And if we make another mistake again, I'm just trying to imagine another 4 years disaster and then another 8 years, because anyone that finishes the first tunnel, he wants to go back again. So if we want to continue to the same way we are today, I think the Labour Party is the way to go. Thank you so much.
Mike, he managed to campaign there. This is not a campaign venue.
He was on the campaign.
We are not supporting any candidate. We are supporting Nigeria. As far as we are concerned, what is best for Nigeria, and anybody who wins is the person that Citizen FM is supporting. We're not supporting before the election. After the election, the winner is the person we are supporting from here. So yes, he said he likes what you said about this. You believe that you think it's possible for a country to disintegrate or a country to just become good overnight. 4 years is enough to transform a country. If a specific candidate wins in 4 years' time, we will be eating rice and enjoying milk and cake, milk and sugar, like the Bible says.
Yeah, please.
Milk and honey. Is that possible?
We should guide people rightly. Elections do not change countries overnight.
Okay.
If you were a poor country,
okay,
you don't become a rich or economic buoyant country overnight because you conducted credible elections.
Okay.
Elections are like momentum building processes.
A vehicle that is gradually moving forward.
Vehicle.
Okay. All right.
Like when democracy came in 1999, the whole world was like, democracy has returned to Nigeria. Nigeria is no more a dictatorship land or authoritarian state. We did another one. It was almost the worst election anybody can talk of in 2007. We did another one in 2011. We have been growing. Though because of the policies of the states in terms of freedom, economic survival, and growth, we have not been there a lot. But at least we have been given recognition in the community of nations that we can trust Nigeria. The world can trust Nigeria, that Nigeria is going to stay the whole hog in terms of democratic governance. That is better. So elections provide that enabling frame for the citizens, for a nation to engage in conversation about how governance need to take shape, how people need to fare, how we need to arrange ourselves, organize a society. So depending on which choice you make, that's why in political science or election studies or electoral studies, they tell you that they are rational voters and irrational voters.
Okay.
So as if you are listening here, what will it take you as a Nigerian citizen to clearly know that this person is not capable? Maybe because he belongs to you, to your tribe, to your religion, or he shares money for you.
They've never been on that seat before, so we can't really know until they. You forget in 2015 there was this belief that once Muhammadu Buhari enters there, former general, Boko Haram, all these problems will dissolve.
That was
here we are now. Okay, Paul. There's an argument some people have, and they say that when you talk about democracy, it was sold to us by the Western world that democracy has no component of development. That what democracy guarantees is freedom and participatory governance. That an autocracy can be even more developmental than democracy. But what it may not have is participation and freedom. That the only thing you are guaranteed in democracy is freedom and participation. But development may not come like we have now in Nigeria. We can criticize Buhari now. We are free to walk on the streets, but we may complain that the roads we are using and all of that is not good. And there's nothing you can do about that.
Then again,
so that Africans need to look at themselves and design a kind of governance that will bring development for them and also guarantee them freedom. I don't know how you feel about that.
Before democracy, before colonialism came to Africa, the system of government, that traditional system we're practicing, in most areas was democratic. How was it democratic? Okay, like in my place now, the chief have.
Where is that?
Cross River.
Okay.
In Cross River. Similar with Debos. We do almost similar things with Debos and in fact the whole of South. Now, in those instances, like in Igbo, they will tell you that the Igbos were Republican in nature. What we have a chief, a traditional stool. We have council of chiefs.
Okay.
We have youths.
Okay.
We have the women group. At no point does the chief or the council have absolute powers to decide on the fate of the community.
Okay, so why then in the Western democracy we are practicing, we've been here, we've criticized like the money policy now. There are more people who are complaining against it and saying it should be reversed, and so many things they have done, and they stick to their guns and continue to do what they feel is best for the people, even when the people say we don't want this. Why is that now that they don't listen to the people?
Look at the challenges of Africa when it comes to democracy. The challenges for Africa with regards to democracy is that we are not heterogeneous society. We are multicultural. I mean, we are not like
homogeneous. We're not one tribe. There are so many different tribes and cultures.
We are multicultural society. Look at the performance of democracy, and even in terms of economic growth, stability, political stability, democratic stability with the Scandinavian countries. They perform more than America. The Scandinavians are doing more. So in societies where people are divergent, tribe, religion, and all those things, the confrontation
will be more.
In fact, like there's another aspect you can look at it. Distribution of
resource distribution.
Yes, resource distribution, distributive politics. They call it distributive politics. There's so much confrontation, fees, brutal. Sometimes it can go into.
Why have we not found a solution to that?
The solution is share power. The solution is share power. That is why zoning. That is why I'm not here to campaign against PDP. I've been a supporter of PDP for years. For the PDP to go ahead and say they want to nominate Atiku Abubakar.
Now he will get votes.
Yes, he will get votes.
Like it or not.
But you see, the best policy that suits Africa is share power, distributive power. You share power. You don't accumulate power. You don't control. You become so autocratic.
One person doesn't see.
You understand?
You must make everybody feel that they belong.
Yes.
By distributing it from one.
In a country of 240 tribes, after Buhari has left office, and you say you want to bring Buhari Kingsman to come and take over. You are what are you doing?
No. What are you? We are not. That is no. As far as they are concerned, that is what
you understand.
It is, if you don't like it, Paul, don't vote for them.
After 8 years of Buhari, you want to bring another Buhari brother to come and take over in a nation of 240 tribes.
It's okay, Paul. No problem. Those who are complaining, if you don't like it, don't vote for them. They have said that is their candidate, and those who are supporting them. Paul, it's okay.
It's not transparent. It's not.
That is for you.
That is.
But there have been going on